So the live stream reveal is in 2.5 hours from the time of this recording. I'm gonna push this video out right away. I got a delayed with this, to be real, but I do have here my concepts, my full concepts for Gogeta and Broly, what I would like to see from them and everything like that. I will be live at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 30 minutes before the live stream, to just like gather people, you know, do a little things, and then we'll react to it live. So feel free to go ahead and check me out during that time. But let's hop right in. I mean, we do know that the Gogeta and Broly are going to be Super Saiyan Gogeta and Super Saiyan Broly. And they do actually transform. So Super Saiyan Broly full power and Super Saiyan God SS Gogeta should be the transformations for both of the characters. So I kept that in mind when making these concepts that they're transforming characters. Apparently it is like they said that you transforming conditions are met. They didn't say anything about active skill transformations. That's what Goresh confirmed. So they could still be active skill transformations, but to let y'all know, I did make them normal transformation characters, but they could still be active skill transformations, and then we could use it as another active skill once they transform. But yeah, let's hop right into it. Okay, we're gonna start off with Gogeta. I think most people are kind of excited for Gogeta, but I made both of them very, very powerful. So Gogeta is a Carnival LR. I did make him physical as a reverse for Broly and Gogeta. Last time they were physical in AGL, so I made Gogeta the physical one. Kamehameha category key 3 and then 200% HP attack and defense is what I want to see. I think Gogeta being a Kamehameha 200% leader makes a lot of sense to me. This category just does not have a 200% lead, right? It's one of the few categories I feel like at this point that isn't part of some 200% leader skill, especially such a massive important category. And we know one of the Dokkan original animations for Gogeta is the Gallic Kamehameha, whatever, because it's the Gallic Kamehameha, because you can see here it's the same effect here, right? This Gallic gun and this Kamehameha. The Gallic gun in the Broly movie is yellow. I don't know why it's not purple, but it's yellow, right? So that's why it's the Gallic Kamehameha based on what I'm seeing. That's why it's yellow. But I did also add this extra effects. Super AGL and super physical allies get an additional key 3 and 150% HP attack and defense. Kamehameha excluded. The reason why I added this is because of the 60% support EZAs, right? So these characters, because of the fact that, let's say AGL, right, or let's say physical, this Gogeta's physical, right, but physical types are weak to STR types, so I also added AGL. Now the reason I didn't add just the one typing is because we saw during the worldwide celebration AGL Vegeta Blue just leads all super class typings, right? So while I feel like it could have just given him super class as well, I think especially like just to kind of make things a little more like different, interesting, I just gave it the 2 specific typings for type coverage for 150%. Maybe you could even say I can make that 170%. Let me know what you guys are thinking, because it's not all super class allies, it's just specific types. I could potentially even make that 170%, but 150% is cool. The again, idea is to get the 50% supports on here. I made AGL again because STR is what physical is weak to, so you have some type coverage there, and then it just adds more character to the leader skill, right? Besides the single Kamehameha 200%, but you know, you could also do, maybe he'll be a double like 200% lead, like Kamehameha and Fused Fighter, right? That's possible too. Hopefully it's just not just one category. I want them to add and evolve the leader skill a little bit. Doesn't have to increase the actual percentage, obviously, right? But yeah, both super attack effects do stack. 18 key greatly raises attack and defense, mega colossal damage, and then debuffs attack and defense. 12 key 30%, or I think it's 20%, but this raises attack and defense, colossal damage, and lowers attack. Just stacking because he is going to eventually transform. Now here's the meat of the card, at least pre-transformation. Passive skill. Key 5 and 200% attack and defense. 50% attack and defense when performing a super. Super effective against all types. High chance to evade enemy attacks. Then if he's the first attacker in the turn, I gave him Key 2, 50% attack and defense, and then another 20% chance to dodge, right? So as the first attacker, he has a 70% chance to dodge. Then if he's the second or third attacker in the turn, he instead gets Key 4, 70% attack and defense when attacking, which is different than this, right? The reason why is because he won't actually get that until he actually... Okay, hello, can you do this, please? Thank you very much. Okay, so the reason why I give him that is because it's multiplicative. So while he won't get it until he attacks, so that could be a little dangerous against AoEs, he'll hit much harder, and then he gets a guaranteed additional super attack. So if you want to really, if you have like a slot 1 character you could use, and you want to use this guy in slot 2, you can put him in slot 2 still. He still has the high chance to dodge even against AoEs, and then he's just going to do more damage and stack more, which is nice, right? He transforms from the 4th turn from start of battle. Just made it quick and easy. Just an easy turn 4 transformation. Again, this could be an active skill as well. It doesn't really matter whichever one it is, but that's just the transformation into blue. Then his link set is basically the same as the HO Gogeta, except he doesn't have Saiyan Warrior race. He has legendary power. He's not on these teams, right? Fusion Realm of God, transformation moves, etc, etc, etc. Just the normal Gogeta blue teams that he would be on. Now, here is Super Saiyan God SS Gogeta. Super attack effects. Greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn. I'm going to make this 3 turns, actually. Yeah, I'm going to make this 3 turns because I did make Broly 3 turns, and I think that's fair, right? Just a little spoiler right there. So we'll make it 3 turns right here. I don't know why I did that. Colossal Diamond and high chance to stun on the 12 key. Greatly raise attack and defense for 3 turns on the 18 key. Mega Colossal and then greatly lowers attack, right? Which I think decent super attack effects, right? Again, the stun and the lower attack you might not see in turn 4. But with round skills, right, with the ability of round skills, like where enemies could have like immune status effects that can be taken away when a domain is active. So like there could be a boss like the hit boss. He could be sealed when the round skill is down. Otherwise when his round skill is up, right? So let's say, again, with that hit boss, he has his round skill just up all the time. If you use a domain, you get rid of the round skill and the effects. One of the effects is that he can not be sealed, but when you use the domain and bring down the round skill, he loses that effect tied to the round skill, right? So there could be things like like lowering attack, even stunning tied to the round skills with the domain, which is interesting. And I do think these characters will have domains. So, passive skill. Key 7 and 230% attack and defense, plus an additional 120% attack and defense when performing a super. Guarantee crits. 70% chance to dodge. Then he guarantee dodges when the domain Shattered Dimension is activated. Performs an additional super attack for 3 turns after this character evades an attack. He gets an additional 70% attack and defense when 70% attack when keys 24 or when activating the active skill. Active skill condition could be used when facing one enemy. The active skill greatly raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage, and then he creates the domain Shattered Dimension, and then Shattered Dimension also he just creates the domain of the Shattered Dimension, which gives him the guaranteed dodging. Then he brings all enemy attacks towards this character for 1 turn, which we do know Gogeta Blue was confirmed to have the target skill mechanic. I think it being tied to the active skill would be absolutely perfect. Very, very ideal, but we'll go ahead and see how exactly that would work, right? And then obviously he gets Warrior Gods instead of the, what link is it? Kamehameha is lost, right? But he'll do the Kamehameha during the active skill, right? Like kind of future Gohan, but he won't have the Kamehameha link here. Category same, etc, etc. So that is this Gogeta Blue. I think he's very simple and strong. I mean, 70% dodge plus the guaranteed dodge here. The 120% attack defense on super plus this. These are pretty high stats that'll be multiplicative. Guaranteed crits. Guaranteed additional super attack here after he dodges. This extra attack boost will make him hit really hard. Then he has the active skill in the target. It was guaranteed dodging. Like, he can be crazy, right? This Gogeta Blue, I think I made him very strong, but let me know what you guys are thinking about him. Next, we have STR Super Saiyan Broly. So I did make him STR. Super bosses, gifted warriors, and transformation boosts get key 3, then 170% HP attack and defense. So again, that's all the super bosses. Gifted warriors give us, like, you know, the evil Vegetas. Transformation boost gives us so many villain options as well. Then 30% stats to movie bosses or full power category. You could also add pure Saiyans here, I guess, if you really wanted. I mean, yeah, you could add pure Saiyans here, but I gave him the same thing as Gogeta. Extreme STR and Extreme Tech allies get key 3 and then 150% to stats. Again, where Extreme STR, he is STR character, weak to AGL, so we give him tech options, and you can put other tech allies in the team, right? Which would work out very well, because I don't think, like, Fusion Zamasu, LR Fusion Zamasu is not actually on the transformation boost category. What is he? He might be. He's not, right? So like LR Fusion Zamasu is not on this team. So what you can do is you can throw Fusion Zamasu on this team now because of the fact that he would fit the extreme tech requirement. And you get like a bunch of villains here. Gifted Warriors gives us Ma Jr., Transformation Boost gives us Hirudegarn, right? And then you get all these like villain characters on this team, super bosses, right? All the Friezas, the Cells, the Boo. Like, I made this like as an idea of being a really good villains team. He does have the same super attack effects as Gogeta. Greatly raise attack and defense on 18 key Mega Colossal, then it lowers attack and defense. 12 key raises attack and defense, colossal damage, and lowers attack, right? So again, the idea is that obviously Broly and Gogeta are fighting and getting stronger and stronger, right? Passive skill. Activates the entrance animation. I do think he'll have an entrance animation for when he transforms into Super Saiyan. Well, as Gogeta, I'm not really sure if he'll have an entrance animation, but I'm thinking like an entrance for Broly for sure. Performs an additional super attack for 3 turns, right? So he's just guaranteed additional supering and getting stacks. Key 5 and a 200% attack and defense. Plus an additional key 1 up to 5, and then 20% attack and defense up to 80% with each attack he receives. 40% damage reduction, and then an additional 20% damage reduction before he attacks. All extreme class allies, excluding this character, get key 1 up to 3, and then 5% attack and defense with each attack received as the first attack on the turn. So again, this is with each attack he receives, right? So again, he can give all extreme class allies key 3, then this is like stacking up. So if he gets hit 10 times, he can give 50% multiplicative support within that turn, right? Which is crazy, right? But I made it that way, where maybe sometimes he'll take 5 attacks and he's only giving 25%, right? So again, as he's getting hit, he's allowing the team to get also stronger. Then if you decide to float him off, he has 20% reduction here. And then all allies excluding this character still get key 1 up to 3, and then 25% attack and defense up to 25% for 3 turns with each attack received as the third attacker on the turn. I might just make this, I think I'm gonna make this actually different. Make a flat boost instead, right? It would be multiplicative if he's floating around, but since it's 3 turns, I'm not sure if they would make it a flat boost. So we're gonna change this to this and just make it a consistent all allies key 3, or key 2, and then 25% attack and defense. I think that's fair. And then if he's floating around, he could still be tanking, he could still be supporting and doing some pretty good damage. He transforms from 4th turn. I gave him Big Bad Boss as a nightmare. I don't care. I think it's possible he has it. I would say it's also possible that he just has this link set right here, where it's like, maybe they'll probably just get rid of like Saiyan Warrior Race or Prodigies for Legendary Power. It could very well be that link set, but some Brolys do have Nightmare. Some Broly's do have Big Bad Bosses. I think if they want to easy a... Where is he at? Broly Chion Lemo. If they want to easy this character and make him really good for Broly, I mean, they're going to want to give him Big Bad Bosses. Like, and then they share Big Bad Bosses, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. I think it really would make a lot of sense to me. And then if this guy is going to be Super Boss's leader, like, Big Bad Bosses would be a nice thing for him to have. So I'm really going to hope. I'm going to say don't expect. Apparently I ran out of disk space, but we're back again. I wouldn't expect him to have Big Bad Bosses and stuff like that. Like, be like, oh, he's going to have 100%. But I do think there's a chance. So that's why I give him that. Nightmare. I mean, some of these Brolys do have the Nightmare link, right? If we take a look here, we see Super Saiyan 4 Broly has a Nightmare. We see Super Saiyan 3 Broly has Nightmare. Even this Bio Broly does have Nightmare. So Nightmare is definitely not a link that it's like, oh, he's not going to get Nightmare. And I hope they do give him Nightmare. Nightmare is actually a pretty nice villain link overall. It helps him with like the Zamasus, the Goku Blacks, right? Some of these other villain characters would be very cool to see. These are the category teams he's on. The same as the physical one is what I'm saying. Now, we could take a look here at Super Saiyan Broly Full Power. So he transforms again on turn 4, same as Blue Gogeta. And then he has the same attack, the same super attack buffs, except he also does... Yeah, we'll change this. We're changing that real quick. So, raises attack and defense for 3 turns, colossal damage, and raises extreme class allies attack plus 20% for 1 turn. See, this is what I'm kind of... Okay, I was okay rushing to get this done, but for 1 turn there, right? Just a little extra boost. Then, greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns, causes mega colossal damage, and then he gets all allies, all attacks becoming critical hits. Imagine all allies critical hits. That'd be crazy, but no, all of his own attacks become critical hits on the 18 key. So, his passive skill creates the domain Shattered Dimension for 1 turn. While the domain Shattered Dimension is active, which is actually again the same as Blue Gogeta's Keep in mind, two characters can share the same domain, right? So I gave him the same domain there. He changes AGL Keyspheres to STR, then gets 10% attack per STR Keysphere obtained. Key 10 and 200% attack and defense. 150% attack and defense for the rest of the battle when this character receives an attack. Reduces damage received by 50%, then reduces damage received by an additional 20% before he attacks. I buff this as well. All extreme class allies, excluding this character, get Key 2 up to 5, and then 6% attack and defense for 1 turn with each attack received if he's the first attacker in the turn. So if he receives 5 attacks, he gives Key 5 and 30% multiplicative attack and defense to all extreme class allies for the turn. If he's floating, he still has the 20% reduction, and then all allies excluding this character get Key 3 and 30% attack and defense for 3 turns, as a third attacker in the turn. So he's just, again, a more buffed version, but again, with the extra reduction, with the extra stats here, the nuking ability with the domain, and when the domain's active, he gets an active skill, could get 50% active skill multiplicative attack, and then a guaranteed additional super. So that active skill turn, this first turn, turn 5, he just becomes insane. He becomes insanely strong. Same links and categories. I mean, you can tell I made them both busted, like really, really, really good. Honestly, looking back at the concepts, Broly might probably be the better one I made out of the two here, which I think is necessary, because even though he's a Saiyan, him helping villain teams could be so massive. While as Gogeta, it's like, you know, he doesn't have to be like definitive #1 in the game, because his teams are so much better too, right? You know, even though Broly's on these Saiyan teams, right? I think you guys gonna get my point, because like Gogeta's again on superheroes, fused fighters, power beyond Super Saiyan, final trump card, Kamehameha, well, Broly's on transformation boost, right? But movie heroes like Super Saiyans as well. Broly is on some of these very strong teams like Pure Saiyans, Super Saiyans, even power beyond Super Saiyan, right? But like movie bosses, super bosses, full power, miraculous awakening, gifted warriors, like those teams need help. And I think making this guy like a very strong extreme class character is the best idea that I had, so that's why I focused him really around extreme class. And then if you use him and Gogeta together, while Broly domain is active, you could have Gogeta guarantee dodge, and then the next turn you could just use Gogeta's active skill against one enemy, and then get his second turn of guaranteed dodging. So they work very well together, right? And then while that dimension is active, Broly will again also create the key spheres and then get the nuking passive again, right? Which could heal as well. So I mean, that's the synergy between those two, because they have the same domain, and even though it only lasts for 1 turn, right, that will allow you to like activate the effects in separate situations where you could kind of strategize with that. And it being 1 turn is helpful too. Gogeta transforming on the 4th turn, right, you can get his domain out, and then if you have future Gohan on the next turn, you can get his domain out on turn 5, right? So that is the idea. I guess I didn't give Broly a domain effect specifically. Like he doesn't have an effect that comes with the domain, which is usually a thing that happens. So let's say Broly gives extreme class allies, I don't know, well, what could I give him? Maybe it's like this could just go to the domain effect instead of the passive skill. Sure, right, let's say that, for example, right, he does this for the domain effect, whatever. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll just catch you guys all in the stream, which will be in 2 hours from now. Peace out.